What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Kinesio Outdoors gear review video. In today's video, I'll be talking about the Broadhead Buddy. I discovered the Broadhead Buddy at the Northwest Mountain Challenge at Crystal Mountain Ski Resort in Washington, and the owner, I believe his name is James, super nice guy, veteran. When I was talking to him about it, essentially he was getting frustrated at the expensive prices of premium broadheads like the Iron Will. I personally love the Iron Will. I spend a lot of money for the broadheads, and I want to use them for as many animals as possible. So that's where the Broadhead Buddy comes in. Oftentimes you'll get pass-throughs with broadheads like the Iron Will, as well as other premium broadheads, and you'll get your arrow stuck in trees, stumps, down logs, things like that. And your broadhead's still fine, but you can't get it out. I've seen people break pocket knives trying to pull them out. I've seen people bend ferrules, break the inserts off, break arrows off at the insert, break inserts off, try and get these broadheads out of trees, stumps, logs, whatever it may be. It's also really common to see at like archery clubs at the practice ranges. You'll see a bunch of field tips and broadheads just stuck kind of around the target. Well, that's where this comes in. The goal is to remove stuck points. It's going to save money because you're going to be able to save heads efficiently. I'll show you that in a minute. There's a mechanical advantage as far as pulling it out. And then finally, it's going to prevent damage of the ferrule. Now, the way this works is pretty slick. First of all, what it comes with is it's going to come with the Broadhead Buddy extractor, and then it's going to come with an all thread, which I'll circle back to this. So what we have here, I'm actually sharpening this right now with the Work Sharp guide, so that's why the blades are off. But if this is stuck, so this is something that you can't see, I screw my arrow off, and this is what's poking out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna screw this on here, and this matches 204 threads. I don't know that James has a deep 6 thread option or not, but that may be something he wants to consider. So now that I have this kind of aligned over it, you can see I've got these vents here. That's where the blades would be. So what I would do is line up these nice big channels over where the blades would be. So that way there's no contact. You can kind of see there. There's no contact. You can see daylight through. That's exactly what you want. Because what's going to happen is as this is stuck on here, you're going to turn this knob. By turning this knob, it's actually going to push this collar, this sleeve forward. And by doing so, you actually will start to see the broadhead be pulled out. Now it's got these teeth to bite onto the material, and then as you spin this, you'll see that ferrule is being pulled into the device, and this would be where it's free of whatever that was pulling it from. And then to get it out, I would just spin it back to reveal my broadhead, and then I can twist it off, and there we go. I'll be all set. This is great in the sense of it prevents bending of the ferrule because it's pulled straight back on the all thread that is in the middle there. So that's fantastic. These big channels are wide enough for thick blades like the Iron Will. Let's see if I can get this on without cutting myself. So got this on, and you can see this is a 4-blade broadhead. I'll kind of spin it so you can see, but there's the main blade, bleeder blade, main blade, and bleeder blade. Fits over it very well, which is awesome. Now, another thing that I have seen, and I actually tried to film this at North Idaho Archery yesterday in their indoor range, is guys will actually break off arrows, field tip or broadhead in the target. The arrow will break off, and the back of the insert actually has threads. So James included this little all thread here so you could thread into the back of that insert and pull out the arrow that way. So with this all thread, this would just go on the back of that insert, and then this screws right into this in here. So Now this is on here. I can screw this into the back of the insert and then do the same extraction as before. Now, when it says mechanical advantage on the front, this is a much larger diameter than that of an arrow. So you actually have the mechanical advantage of just having that kind of really wide knob. So an example to explain mechanical advantage of this versus like a smaller diameter object is if you have a baseball bat laying around, have somebody who is generally weaker than you, have them hold the handle of the bat and you hold the barrel of the bat, and you'll be able to much more easily turn the barrel if you are a weaker person compared to holding the handle. Why? Because it's a larger distance from the axis of rotation, which would be the center here. That larger distance is where that mechanical advantage is created. So this is a super cool product. I'm really excited about it. I think that archery shop owners should have one. I think all archery clubs should have one. And I think hunters that really like expensive broadheads, like the Iron Will, for example, expensive broadheads that are gonna be reusable even if they have hard impacts into stumps, logs, trees, things like that. I think you'll benefit from it greatly. And one last thing is, I wish I would have had this when I was a guide in Oregon a few years ago, because I don't know if you can see it, I actually almost cut my thumb off. Right there is the scar. And then I essentially was pulling on a tree and I pulled the broadhead out, I slipped and I sliced here and I sliced into my thumb. And I ended up getting 10 stitches the day before the elk opener. If I would have had this, it would have prevented that injury, prevented stitches, and all the healing issues that came afterwards. So I think this is a great product. I recommend you check it out. James has a website. I think it's just broadheadbuddy.com, broadhead-buddy.com. He also goes to local shoots, veteran-owned company. It's based out of Washington. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'll try to get back to you, and thanks for watching.